Good morning, Culers. It's time to wake up, shake off that El Clasico loss. Excuse me. It is time to wake up in Barca, everybody's favorite morning news show, where we come together with Culers from around the world to talk about the Barcelona headlines, which, of course, today are going to be riddled with the loss to Real Madrid, the response to Ronald Koeman. But we're gonna be getting through it together, folks. No worries. We got the undefeated community. We got the Stash Squad here. If this is your first time finding us, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can be part of the conversation as we go over the headlines from today. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
All right. So, yes, indeed, we came off of a disappointing defeat yesterday, 2-1 in the El Clasico. Busquets and others are saying that we didn't deserve that defeat, and I got to say I agree. I think tactically, personnel-wise, I don't think we could have done anything differently, except maybe not put in Luke de Jong. But outside of that, it was a good effort. We got caught on 2 counterattacks. That's kind of been the MO for Barcelona all season long. Possession-wise, it was split pretty evenly. Passes split pretty evenly. So, I don't know. Difference was the finishing. Barcelona having a hard time finish these last few matches. Levi says Aguero should have been in from the start. He's not 90 minutes match fit. That's the problem right now. If he was 90 minutes match fit, I'd agree with you. But unfortunately, not the case. And I do agree some of the substitutions were a little bit weird. But Koeman was getting desperate, and Koeman was trying everything. I think one of the big complaints against Koeman early on was that he would wait way too long to make changes, if he made any changes at all. So that was not what we saw in the match yesterday. He was making lots of changes, lots of substitutions, lots of tactical adjustments. No luck. Bring this down just a little bit. Just a smidge. Anyway, so how's everybody doing after that loss? It was a long day, too. I had a long day. Barca 1899 is here. Good morning, sir. Levi, of course, with us. And Kudis. Good morning, Kudis. How we doing? Levi says Memphis did not play well. It's definitely a different Memphis now that we have Ansu and Coutinho and some others around him. He's not really turning and running at goal as much. He's playing with his back to goal as that target man, which is fine. He's got the physicality for it, but he needs to have players running off of him to get those quick touches so that we can break through that back line. We're not getting clean opportunities. We'll look at some of the stats here. Jump over to this. We'll zoom in for the homies. There we go. All right, so looking at some of these stats. 12 shots, only 2 on target. Folks, that should jump out at you. 12 shots, 2 on target. That's unacceptable. We cannot have that. It's got to be better. To me, that means 2 things. It could be that we're getting good opportunities and we can't put anything on target, or we're shooting out of desperation. We're not getting those good opportunities and they're being blocked by the defenders, or they're going right to the keeper. The latter is more of what we're seeing. Good morning, Ernest. Good morning, Levi. Or LeBeau, sorry. I was looking at looking at LeBeau, said Levi. Victor is also with us, and referee. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, Levi, I agree with you again. I like the attitude of the team. I like the mentality. I thought that there wasn't really anybody that I could say had a poor performance. You know, it's easy to jump to the one opportunity that Des missed that really turned the game around. It was, in like the 25th minute, something like that. You hate to see that for the young American. Very, very disappointed with just that one run of play there. I think if we would have put that in, gone up 1-0, then the possession game's completely different. And you never know what happens. But for now, it is what it is, my friends. Nothing we can really do about that, unfortunately. What other takeaways did we have from the match? What do we think? Levi says Dest didn't play really well, but he's not a winger. That's also kind of the saving grace right now, is I am telling myself he's not a winger. He's just standing in. If you treat him as a defender, playing out of position, he did quite well. And that opportunity that he missed was definitely, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Didn't mean to jump to that screen. That opportunity was definitely a defender's finish, if you will. But since we jumped over that screen, I'll tell you, we are going to reiterate the good, the bad, and the Barca here today. For those of you that missed the post-game show, it was a little bit of a test, a little bit of a dry run. I'm going to make some changes for the next one, but we will reiterate the good, the bad, and the Barca, which goes over what was good, what was bad, and what was Barca about the match. Victor says, we're just throwing in crosses, and Coleman expect them to head them in. That's not a real plan, yada, yada. Barcelona are having a hard time attacking through the middle right now. A very hard time. I'm not quite understanding why everything is going to the wings, whether it's Ansu, Memphis, Coutinho, or Alba or Dest. They're on the wings, and they ultimately get a cross in. Or you have a little cut in from Memphis or Ansu trying to get a far post curler. But we are lacking the ability to penetrate through the center of the pitch right now. And we're very one-dimensional, and I think teams are noticing that. It's really hurting us. LeBeau says Madrid weren't that good. Honestly, I agree. I think we did all right. Frankie de Jong also did not play well. He was really quiet throughout most of the match. Gavi, de Jong, pretty unimpactful in that match. Busquets did well on the defensive side. I thought he found himself in the right positions, was doing a great job of shutting down the counterattacks before they began. Now, he did have an easier job going up against an older, slightly slower midfield, Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro. None of those guys really have the pace to blow by even a Sergio Busquets. So, little bit easier on Busquets. I really wanted more from Frankie and Gavi. Unfortunately, we did not get it. Paul asks, are we a good team again? Good? Yes. Great? No. Not at all. And we still got to work on our chemistry. It seems like Memphis, Ansu, and Coutinho, the three of them, not quite working out how to best play together yet. Alex said De Jong is injured now. That is not good. Let's see. We'll jump over here and we'll go Barcelona news. We'll see what pops up. Barcelona condemn violent and disdainful acts towards Coleman. I think this is what Levi was talking about with some destruction going on here. Videos on social media showed people surrounding Coleman's car and blocking it from moving as the Dutchman tried to exit the stadium after Barcelona suffered their fourth straight defeat in Clásicos. Some supporters appeared to bang on or kick the car, and Coleman was subjected to verbal abuse. There appeared to be spit on the windows of Coleman's car as he drove away. Let me say that again. There appeared to be spit on one of the windows as Coleman drove away. FC Barcelona publicly condemns the violent and disdainful acts that our manager experienced when leaving the Camp Nou. This is what they said on Twitter. The club will take security and disciplinary measures so that the unfortunate events do not happen again. Well, folks, let's take a look and see what we got here. Blow that up. Yikes. This is Ronald Koeman leaving the Camp Nou. Guys, this is not okay. He's a human being. We should not be attacking him like this. This is insane. You guys, that is wild. That is absolutely wild. Guys, we have to remember, this is a sport. I know we have a great deal of passion for the club. Ronald Koeman's trying his best. He's not acting out against Barcelona. For the Culers to be surrounding him like that, that is so threatening and aggressive. Let's watch that again. I am in shock. Look at this. They're clearly banging on his car. People are giving him the finger. They're putting phones in his face. Yeah, everyone's slapping the hood of his car. This is insane. Guys, this is not cool. This is not cool at all. Yep, and you can see right on the window there is a huge loogie on the side of his car. Guys, this is where human beings are just... Humans are ugly sometimes, you guys. Humans are... What else do you want Ronald Koeman to do? If you're Ronald Koeman and you're managing that match, what would you have done differently? And to take it further, just control yourself. Control yourself. Have some perspective. What are you going to do there? Like, that's going to keep escalating. The next match that they lose, fans, if nothing's done there, fans are going to think that that's okay. That's going to continue on. It's going to keep escalating. Scary scene as Ronald Koeman's leaving there. If I'm him, I'm questioning whether or not I want to stay. I mean, and then what, folks? And then who's going to manage the club? We need to be careful for what we wish for with Ronald Koeman. We need to show him some support during these times. That is a wild scene. Yikes. Let me catch up on the chat here. Ernest says Alba was also too predictable. They were just blocking his crosses. That is kind of his MO right now. Alba needs to learn to cross with his right foot to give the defender something to think about. Got a hair in my coffee. Referee says we're ready for Pedri next game. I agree. Levi says no permanent damage was done to the car. That's not the point, man. When a crowd of people surround your car and they don't let you leave, he was blocked in there for a few moments. I think he started to drive forward so people cleared out. But if something goes wrong there, listen, this is what happens. Let's say one of those supporters smashes his window. Maybe they didn't mean to. Maybe they threw something at the window, didn't expect it to break, and the car window smashes. Ronald Koeman sees that, freaks out, hits the gas, runs over 2 or 3 supporters. Then what? That's what's happening there. It is a chaotic scene that nobody's really in control of. So while nothing may have come out of this particular situation, you are setting yourself up for a high possibility of terrible drama if things go south there. So I'm completely against what we saw there with the fans going after Ronald Koeman. Yikes. Nobody deserves that. Nobody deserves that. He's a human being after all, guys. Yikes. Kuda says you cannot keep a skipper that gets treated this way, economic situation or no economic situation. I'm with you, Kudis. Like, this is kind of unprecedented. I don't know what's going to happen after this. That was pretty wild. Levi says it's funny how someone wanted a selfie. Yeah, happened. And happened to your dad during the Belfast riot. Yet riots are not good. The mob mentality, it's very dangerous. It's very scary. Things escalate quickly, get out of hand real easily. Jason, good morning, sir. How we doing? Yeah, he's not only a human being, but still a Barca legend. So, yeah, we need to just have some respect, have some humanity. That's all I'm saying. It's wild times going on in the world right now. We need to be able to stick together, folks. Let's get going with some of the other news here. Barcelona not inferior to Real Madrid despite another loss at the Camp Nou. Yeah, I guess I feel the same way. I guess I feel like we're not inferior, but what is the difference then? What separates us from Real Madrid? You know what I mean? Goals from David Alaba and Lucas Vazquez earned 3 points for Madrid in a 2-1 victory, with Sergio Aguero's first goal for Barca proving nothing more than a consolation. Koeman is yet to beat Madrid in 3 games since taking over as Barcelona coach last year. The latest comes after recent Champions League group stage defeats to Bayern, Benfica, as well as a league loss to Atletico, yada, yada, yada. Quote from Koeman here says, "Of course we have to demand that we win these games," Koeman said in a post-game news conference. Claimed earlier this season that Barca cannot be expected to compete at the top level. He said, "In the game today, we have shown that we're not inferior to Madrid, but instead of going 1 up, we go 1 down, and that has a massive effect on the match. But we have shown that little by little, we're improving and we're closer to winning big games." We'll see here. He continues on to say, we were good in the first half. We controlled the game well, and we had a big chance to take the lead. But once they scored the first, they could play their game in the second half. Referring to Des there, again, it was disappointing. You can't blame the whole match going south on Des, but boy, that definitely would have changed things if Des would have put that in the back of the net. Simon, good morning, sir. Simon also says, if Des gets that goal, we're looking at a different game. Yeah, I'm trying to not, like I said, trying to not blame it on Des, but yes, if Des scores that goal, the momentum's with us. We're at the Camp Nou. We can have as much possession as we want. We don't have to really look to create opportunities in that situation. So yeah, it would have played out very differently. But I don't think Real Madrid looked dangerous during that match. It wasn't like in some of the previous years where we're constantly caught on the counter. We're getting shredded through the midfield and we're getting, shots galore, yada, yada, yada. That really wasn't the case. We played well through the midfield. We played well defensively. There was a couple times when Mingueza got caught upfield and Vinny Jr. was able to kind of push up that left-hand side, have a little bit more space than what I'd be comfortable with. But overall, he had what? Vinny Jr. had 2-3 chances to run at our defense that I can remember. We did a good job of shutting them down. It was the counterattacks, guys. And that's been the MO for a lot of this match, for a lot of this season, I should say, is missing out on points because of a lack of focus. I really think that's what it comes down to, a lack of focus. Jason says, Dest and the other youngsters need a push. They need more time. They need a little bit more time to get settled in and keep getting that experience. Simon says, it's only 5 points now. Teams are going to drop points. Yeah, it's only 5 points, but it's 5 points and headed in the wrong direction, unfortunately. So if we look at the table, bring this on down. We got Sociedad with 21 points, Real Madrid with 20, Sevilla with 20, Athletic with 18, Betis with 18, Osasuna with 18. That rounds out the top 6. Barcelona are down in 9th with 15. Not good. We do have a match in hand on some of these clubs, so we can get back in the top 4 with a win. Real Madrid, Sevilla, Atletico also have a match in hand. Ours is against Sevilla. I believe it's, Sociedad? No, not Sociedad. I forget who Atletico Madrid's playing. But, guys, it's not a strong start. It's not a strong start at all. Barcelona, we got to start picking up points. Inconsistent. Very inconsistent performances from Barcelona this year. It's a little bit frustrating. Victor says, Benzema didn't play that well. We had him shut down. I thought he had one good opportunity, a tremendous pass from Luka Modric. Honestly, if that would have gone in, it would have been one of the goals of the season in terms of a team goal. So I'm glad it didn't. But, yeah, we played well. We played well. Just the scoreboard didn't help us out. What is our next upcoming match? We've got midweek. We've got one on Wednesday. And, folks, sad news, I am not going to be able to make it for this one, unfortunately. I've got some work stuff going on that I can't move, so I won't be here. I was hoping this match was going to be at 3 o'clock and I could make it, but a 1 o'clock match, unfortunately, this one can't make it there. So we will do a pregame show on Wednesday's Wake Up in Barca, and we'll do a postgame show maybe later on. Can't promise it, but I won't be here for the live match, my friends. So sad, so sad. We'll miss 1 or 2 this year. I'm going to do my best to make it for as many as I can. But these midweek during the day ones, those are tough to do for us that have day jobs. You know what I mean? Tough to pull off. Tough to pull off. Anyway, I did promise we would go over the good, the bad, and the Barca one more time. So let's go ahead and do that. This is, of course, referring to Real Madrid, Barcelona. El Clasico ended in 2-1, which is actually the most common scoreline for El Clasico historically. This time it goes to Madrid at the Camp Nou. So we're going to talk about what was good, what was bad, what was Barca, who gets the man of the match. We did do a little post-game yesterday, so this is just a reiteration. Kudus asks, do you think the Coleman situation jumpstarts the youngsters on a chemistry side? I'm assuming the KO situation, you mean the Coleman situation, or the current situation, or just the situation. I think yes, with the roster that we have right now and the state of the club, I think the solution is to accept that we are not going to win major trophies this year and just lean into giving the youngsters their playing time, which I think Ronald Koeman is doing a good job of, which leads me to him being in the good box today. I think his tactics, I think his lineup, I think his willingness to play the youngsters, all, there's not really anything else to say other than I don't know what I'd do differently. I think he's doing everything that he can to get things going for Barcelona, and it's just not happening yet. Just not happening yet. Yikes. Levi, you getting out of here, boss? Martin's good morning. How we doing? Continuing on, what was bad about the match? Referee was pretty terrible. There was a couple other things. Des missing that early opportunity was bad. Carlo Ancelotti telling Vinny Jr. to lie down on the ground and pretend to be injured to kill some time. That was bad. But overall, the referee acting like he was playing for Madrid, basically. For this to be at the Camp Nou and for us to not be getting the home team calls, very disappointing. That's why the referee gets the bad box today. For Barca, got to give that to Kun Agüero. Made his El Clasico debut. Didn't get as much time as some of us maybe wanted him to get, but he did come on, get that consolation goal. So first La Liga goal for Barcelona, first El Clasico match, something to build off of. Kun Agüero gets the Barca box today. For the man of the match, this was a little bit of a tough one. I kind of had to dig deep for my justification for this one, but I will say that I have my doubts. I continue to have my doubts. I've spoken about them a lot, but he's been proving me wrong in a lot of these matches. So Sergio Busquets gets the mustache man of the match. The first ever official mustache man of the match. And this is really for his defensive efforts in the midfield. He did a great job, like I said earlier, of keeping those counterattacks in the defensive or in the attacking third. So when we lose the ball before the counterattack breaks out, Busquets was doing a great job of stepping up, winning it for Barcelona, which keeps the pressure on Real Madrid. Didn't lead to any goals this time, but you can't really blame Busquets for that. So defensive positioning, his passing was great. He's doing what he can for the club. So he gets the mustache man of the match. No big deal. I assume you mean sell Frankie there, and there's no way. You're insane. Watching this says Mingueza and Garcia, not great. Garcia could have had a better match. Sure, could have had a better match. Alex calling for Ricky Puig to get some playing time. Maybe, eventually, at some point. I don't know. Reports are that Ronald Koeman does not like the attitude that Ricky Puig is bringing to the training ground. So, unfortunately, until that changes, not going to see anything different. No, nobody. I think you're a little bit off base there. De Jong, Pedri, Gavi, that is our future midfield. Nico will slide in there. We'll have some other people come up behind that, but that is our future midfield. There's no way we're selling De Jong or others. Victor says, imagine Garcia defend Vasquez goal and Agüero scored that last-minute goal. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed in that second goal. It looked like a lack of hustle from the Barcelona defense. Kudus says Frankie better than the bench warmers. Yep. Yeah, there is no replacing Frankie. He had a bad match, but there's no replacing Frankie. Martin says one thing Barca has little problem is overcomplicating things on the field. Easy chances go by us over. Yeah. Memphis should have taken that shot. At the end there, when it was still 1-0, and he ended up leaving it for Coutinho, who completely missed the shot, he should have taken that shot on his own. I don't know what he's thinking there. Thrawn, good morning. I don't think you can make the argument that Balde should be playing over Alba just yet. Should we get him lots of time rotating in during some of these La Liga and Copa del Rey matches that are going to be coming up? Yes, but I don't think you can say that we should be starting Balde over Jordi Alba just yet. Can't quite say that, in my opinion. But hey, that's one man's opinion. You know what I mean? You can give me your thoughts down in the chat. Levi says Memphis bottled it. He made the wrong choice at the end there. He definitely made the wrong choice. Nobody, you're referring to Donny van de Beek. I would welcome Donny van de Beek in our midfield, absolutely. Listen, you got to keep in mind, no Pedri, no Dembele, still not 90 minutes match fit for Aguero or Ansu. So 4 big injuries that Barcelona are still dealing with while we try to right this ship. But it's tough times right now, guys. It's tough times. Martin says, finally, we need a new and improved morale. We have the players. All we need is improved morale. I would disagree with you. We need a world-class number 9. We need a young defensive mid. Those are 2 big holes that we have. Now, in terms of the morale, I got high hopes that we're going to bring in Dani Alves in January. I think the fans will love it. I think the players at the club will love it. He'll give some experience, some wisdom, and a much-needed morale boost to the club. So, Dani Alves, you said if the club needs you, all they have to do is call. We need you. I'm calling you. Come back, Dani Alves, please. We need that positive boost. Ernest asks, would you agree that we are headed in the right direction? Yes, we are heading in the right direction. We're getting our finances in order. We're getting our youth players experience. The injured players are starting to come back, find their fitness. So, yes, I'm predicting a good run through November and December into a winter break, and then come back for a strong second half of the season. That's what I'm thinking. Levi, he left in 2016, honestly, because I think, and I'd have to look into it again, but I think for the same reasons why some of the other veterans left, they were not happy with the way that things were going with the back office, with Bartomeu and others. Salary also could have played a part in it. It wasn't because of lack of talent. Victor says if Iniesta was still with us. Iniesta is like the one player that actually did things correctly. Well, Iniesta and Xavi both kind of stepped aside at the right time. Iniesta really phased out in those last couple of years, not playing every game, so he let youngsters come in and get some playing time. That's the way you do it. You got to have a rotation. You can't just have your established players playing 90 minutes all the time and then you have no succession planning. You have to have succession planning. You have to look for the future and tell some of the veteran players, hey, you're going to sit this one out because it's a good opportunity for the next generation to have some playing time, to get that experience. So, listen, like I said, our finances are headed in the right direction. Our youth playing time and experience headed in the right direction. Injury woes starting to recover. So we have some things to look forward to. Yes, it was a disappointing loss, but we got to support the badge. We got to support Ronald Koeman right now, at least enough so that we're not attacking him in his car. Come on now. Because we still got a long season ahead of us, friends. All right? So I'm going to, like I said, not going to be here for the game on Wednesday, but we will do Wake Up in Barca Wednesday morning. Kuda says, the sins of yesterday getting paid for today. It's a little too deep for 7:30 in the morning, Kudas. But I'm with you, buddy. I'm with all of you. I love you very much. You guys know that you can always come here when you need a little pick-me-up. I will do my best to be that rock for you all. And when it's not me, someone in the undefeated community will have your back for sure. The Stash Squad, as Kudas has dubbed us. Still appreciate that name. We got good little gimmicks on this channel. Wake Up in Barca, the good, the bad, and the Barca. The Stash Squad. We'll get the stash squad Quan going here eventually. But yeah, that's going to do it for today, friends. So hold your heads up. We are headed in the right direction despite the results. It is what it is. I appreciate you all starting your day with me. Garad, welcome to the community, my friend. Thanks for joining us just in time for the send-off. For those of you that haven't done so yet, go ahead and subscribe so you can be part of the conversation for all the Wake Up and Barças right here on the Undefeated channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It is your opportunity to connect with Culers from around the world for some conversation, some caffeine, while we catch up on all the Barcelona headlines. You won't miss any of the action. I will see you again Wednesday morning for Wake Up in Barca. Thank you once again for tuning in and taking a ride. I'll see y'all next time. Mwah.